Hello.
Hi, Kyle. This is Mark from Route 66 Harley-Davidson. I'm excited to hear about your experience with the Pan America. Have you got to ride it much yet?
I've got about 450 miles on it so far. I've just had it a week. It'll be a week tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I've got a good feel for it so far.
Nice. How much of that are for paved versus off-road?
Well, that's the thing. I haven't done any off-road because we've been so wet.
Yeah.
And, I've been adventure bike riding. Well, I've rode enduros all my life, but I bought another adventure bike about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And there's a difference between dirt riding and mud riding.
Yep.
And these roads are really muddy right now. So I haven't really got to ride off-road yet. I probably did, a mile and a half, 2 miles last night, dirt road, where I put it in dirt mode. But it felt plenty good. I mean, very balanced. I'm just going off of what I've rode on my other bike, and it's got oodles of power. I mean, it's spooky fast. I had a 114 on my other bike, and this thing, there's no comparison. I mean, it's a roller coaster on your belly fast. I mean, it'll throw your stomach up in your throat. It's that quick. I've mostly just put it in highway mode. I put it in sport mode a couple of times. I rode it once in some wet pavement and did the rain mode, and really didn't slip the tires. Or it's got a kind of like the only thing I could compare it to is like when you put your car, if you got an economy mode in it, and it kind of limits your low end power where you're not slipping tires and stuff like that. But I leave next Friday. I'm going to put 6,000 miles on it. I'm going to go up to Oregon, the Northwest, and it's about a 6,000 mile trip. So I'll really know how she performs in. We'll be doing some off-road. I plan on doing a little bit while I'm up there. That's kind of why I've got it. I've got a group of guys that we've been border to border and coast to coast on the pavement. And one of my other buddies that rides when we'd bought these V-Stroms a few years ago because we were wanting to do some dirt stuff. We've been doing that just because there's so much more to see. A lot of times you're riding the pavement and it turns to dirt and you just turn around. With these things, you just keep on going. And that's
right.
what I like about them. Yeah.
Well, you have another Harley-Davidson?
I've had lots of Harley-Davidsons, but I had a Heritage.
Okay.
And like I said, for the mode I'm getting in the stage of my life, I was hoping Harley would come out with this because, I've looked at BMWs, but I'm a diehard Harley guy. I've had Harleys for several years, and I traded my Heritage. I've rode big touring bikes. I've had my first Harley was an Ultra Classic, and then I got a Road Glide Special. And then I had 2 Road Glide Ultras, and then I went with this Heritage because that Road Glide Ultra was just so heavy. I'm just about 5'8". It was just so heavy, and I was tired of dealing with that extra weight. So I went with that Heritage. I liked the Heritage. It was sporty and light, but when you get out on the open road and do those long rides, I mean, it's nothing for us to go out and do 250, 300 miles on a Saturday. I mean, that's just a day for us. I ride about 15,000 miles a year and plus work full time. So I missed that part of the Ultra, the touring bike, that niceness of the riding down the highway with the Heritage. But these adventure bikes, I can sit on it all day long. So I thought when Harley come out I think I'll just be totally content with it. I really do.
You kind of are describing something that I've assumed would be the case, which is this bike opens up a whole nother realm of riding that a lot of traditional Harley enthusiasts haven't been able to enjoy, specifically because
exactly.
Like you said, off-road or dirt or sand, you kind of are done with that road, so to speak.
Well, and that's always been my argument. I had to go buy a Japanese bike to do the other kind of riding I wanted. And I've always said, why can't I own an American-made Harley and do the same? Why can't Triumph and all them, BMW and all them make these kind of bikes? Why can't Harley do it? And they've done it. I think they've knocked the ball out of the park with it. I've watched tons of comparisons on YouTube with it. And, just with what they've done, and everybody's agreeing that it's just a super bike, They've checked all the boxes. I've ordered me a reach seat and the tall boy risers to make it fit me a little better.
And how do you like the adjustable ride?
Now that's a game changer because I'm short. So, 5'8" is not tall enough to touch on those things. With the seat in low position and the ride height when it goes down, I'm not tippy-toeing but I'm on the flat parts of my foot. I'm not flat-footed, but, you know, I can touch on one foot really easy and have control, but to have 2 feet down like you need sometimes, I think I'll be there with this reach seat. Put me in a lot more comfortable position. But, well, I went and rode it at Pig Trail. Me and a buddy, he's wanting one too, and we went down and rode them, and they tried to get me to buy one right there on the spot, you know, and wait. And I said, no, I've got this big trip coming. If I don't get it, I don't want to not have a Harley to go on my trip. So, and then Amanda called me because I'd touched base with her. I said, hey, you get one, let me know, and she did. So I was able to get the deal done.
And you had a good experience with Root and Amanda and everything?
Yeah, this is the third bike I've bought in 3 years. So
okay.
People think I'm crazy. I had a 2018 Road Glide Ultra, and I was riding over in Arkansas, riding second, and I'm one of those guys that love to look at country, and I was looking, and we hit into a blind corner, and I was going too fast, and I went off in the ditch. It didn't hurt me. I just slid off of it like I was sliding into second base, but the bike was sliding, and then it caught and just end over end and just totaled it. And then I went down and bought the 19 with a 114 in it, where my 18 had a 107. And I really liked it, but I tipped over twice last year on our trip at a standstill where my foot slipped, you know, like you'll get in grit. When it starts to go, buddy, it's going because, you know, they're 900 pounds. By the time you put your luggage and everything, I was probably close to 1,000 pounds. And I tipped it over twice, and I told the guys, I said, I am done with this heavy thing. I get home, I'm getting rid of it. I think they thought I was joking. And I bought that black 114 Heritage, and I loved it. It was fun riding. But like I said, when this Pan America come out, and my wife knows me, you know, if I'm not riding, I'm thinking about riding. It's my, you know, I've rode all my life, and that's all I do. I ride, you know. Like I said, I rode over 15,000 miles last year, and I work a full-time job, so we ride a lot.
Well, Kyle, I appreciate it. Is there anything else I should have asked you that I didn't?
I don't know. I had some people ask me if I was going to put the knobby tires on it, and, you know, I told the guy, I said, you know, I've rode this V-Strom. I've had it for 3 years, and I run probably 60/40s on it, and I said, they're plenty aggressive. I said, you know, if I was riding a lot of mud, which I don't, because it's just so dangerous, you know, your front end's slipping out on you, and everything. Now, if we're talking about going to Alaska in a couple of years, if I do, I'll go to Perdido Bay. I'd probably put them on there to do that. But most generally, you know, these tires like it's on it are more than enough, especially good enough for dirt. Now, if you was riding a lot of mud, you might want to change, but just dirt, no, these are good enough. I think they'll be a huge success. I really do. I know one friend that rides with me all the time for sure is going to get one.
How do you like or not like, I guess, our process at Route 66?
Buying a motorcycle from Route 66 has been extremely easy. Amanda has, I'm one of those guys, I don't have to get a better deal than you. I'm not into that. Way I buy a bike, I set my budget. I know what I want to get for it. I know what I want to get for my bike as a trade. And I try to be fair, you know, I know the dealer's got to make money too. And, that's what I did with them. I shot them a price that I would do. And they were like, no, it has to be this. And then I'm like, no way. No, you're not. And finally, we just haggled back and forth a few times. And that's what I've always done with Amanda. And got the deal done. And I felt good about what I did. I felt I got enough money. I knew what I owed on my other bike. I knew I got enough out of it. And I knew what the cost was of the new bike. Buying has been fair, easy. And like I said, I bought 3 bikes in the last 3 years off of them. And very easy. And they're friendly when you walk in. There's another dealership there in Tulsa that it's really not that way. You almost got to go get a salesman to look at something. I'd bought a bike from them that was the first Harley I ever owned, but I've never bought anything from them since.
Well, Kyle, hey, have an awesome time in the Northwest and enjoy your bike. And
it'll be an epic trip.
Oh man, I'm jealous. Well, enjoy yourself.
It's been nice talking to you, Mark. Anytime.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Kyle.
All right. See you, bud.
Okay. Bye bye.